I'm supposed to be starting my farm chores right now, but I have a problem. My dishwasher line is clogging, and that means my dishwasher can't drain, and so I've got to fix this before I can do farm chores. This is probably not the conventional tool, but I have one of these handy, and so I might try to see if this will help me solve the problem. So my plan is to send this camera into this tube to see if I can find like a clog or something. I think I found the clog. Oh, there it goes. Now it's draining. Yeah, sometimes farm life be like this. All right, and we're back now to our regularly scheduled farm video. I just felt compelled to turn the camera on there because I feel like sometimes I give like a misleading picture of what farm life's like. And so yeah, sometimes things like home repairs force you to have to turn your attention away from all of this and go back inside and deal with something. Well, good morning, Mr. Toby Dog. Good to see you, buddy. Hi. Hi, how are you doing, pal? Good to see ya. Hey, Abby dog. How's it going, sweetheart? You were sleeping? Getting a little nap in there? Good girl. All right, you guys ready to go greet your birds? Let's do this. Morning, birds. You know, each morning it's really nice to come into the hoop coop because it's like, I don't know, 10 or 11 degrees Fahrenheit outside, but I just checked and it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit inside. So like just on the line of freezing. I know, Abby dog, it's so nice in here. And we'll add straw in a little bit and it'll make it even nicer. Release the Kraken! Come on, everybody, let's go, let's go. Come on, out we go, come on, come on. Water! How's it going this morning, Ron Swanson? Whoa! It's okay, Abby, it's okay. I'm okay, you're okay, it's okay. So I just slipped on the ice and Abby got spooked. I'm not wearing my crampons this morning because it's snowing, and sometimes when it's really snowy, it's actually better to not wear your crampons. But I just hit the skating rink, that is the bird area, and so I went flying. Sorry, birds, didn't mean to spook you from your breakfast. And here we have Bean the blind duck getting some water. She knows the sound of when the water turns on and she goes for it. Looks like my hose is ruptured a little bit. It started out as a tiny leak the other day, but it keeps getting bigger and bigger. I think I'm gonna have to make a new leader hose to connect this thing from there. So I guess you guys could say that I'll be leader hosing. Yeah, I'll see myself out. Thank you very much. All right, well, that's not good. Oh, son of a gun. I was really worried about this one. Yeah, we have ourselves a dead chicken. Sorry, as I just try to compose myself to explain what's going on here. So yeah, I have a chicken that just died. I guess it died overnight. Actually, wait, no, I guess it just died because it wasn't in that tire this last night when I did lockup at around 4 o'clock, and so it must have come out and, I don't know. So that chicken has been kind of a mystery for me for the last few days. So a few days ago, after I did my morning bird chores, I actually was going down to the cattle. Sorry, hang on. Bird fight. This is typically behavior you see during goose mating season. The ganders get a little bit aggressive and they start jockeying for various breeding partners. So that's actually what's going on there. So I guess I was saying, sorry, distraction. Yeah, a couple days ago, I had finished my bird chores and I was going down to take care of the cattle. And as I went down there to take care of the cattle, what I noticed was there was a bird standing in the middle of the pasture all by itself. It was like cold, it was snowing, and it was like a total mystery to me how this bird ended up out there in the middle of the pasture. It didn't look all that good. Its feet were like almost frozen, like they felt like solid. Clearly had been outside all night, just sitting in the middle of the backside of the bird yard. So that area where I found that bird was actually just almost on the other side of that wall. And so it had just been sitting there. Uh-oh, someone's got the dog's attention now too. Just some of my neighbors walking. Abby went on high alert, Toby went on high alert. Everybody got all worked up about what was going on over there. I know you guys are just doing your job. You're just doing your jobs. So anyway, I get distracted again. So yeah, that chicken was just sitting out there in the pasture. Its feet were frozen. I didn't want to bring it inside the house because I was terrified that like if you go from really cold temps, and it was like, I don't know, I think it was like 3 degrees overnight that night. But if you go from those really cold temps to bringing a bird like directly inside, the shock of temperature change can kill it. But I tried to get it warmed up. I put it near like a brooder plate heater so that it can at least start getting some more warmth into it. I actually kept it in the hatchery in the new barn for about 2 days just in quarantine. And so maybe it was sick and that's why it isolated itself. But it really seemed to be turning a corner. I mean, I was able to bring it outside, it was eating. And so actually yesterday morning, I decided, even though the chicken didn't look great, it seemed like it was recovering and it didn't have anything that seemed like it was like a respiratory illness or some sort of other illness it could have transferred to the other birds. And my assumption is that a bird will always do better surrounded by other birds than if it's completely isolated. And so I brought her back in here. It looked like she went into the coop at night when I did lockup because yeah, like, I don't know, I guess it was about 5 o'clock when I did lockup, but sadly, she didn't make it. And so she marks the first bird death of 2025. I guess that was actually probably the first bird death since I actually lost some birds up on the pasture over the summer. But even still, it kind of sucks. You know, she was a coaching that I've had for a couple of years here on the farm, and I don't know. It's sad to lose her. And I know that there's probably gonna be some folks out there asking about bird flu. And so what I'm actually gonna do is I'll probably save her carcass for a few days. It's not gonna get above freezing for a while, so I can effectively keep her protected on ice. I don't think it's bird flu. Typically, when you have a chicken die of bird flu, that thing just dies and you won't even know there's a problem yet. Also, none of my other birds look sick. And so it seems very unlikely, but yes, I will hold on in case I lose any other birds or somebody gets sick. And if that happens, then yes, I will quickly take action. You know, for anybody out there who is trying to think about how to contend with bird flu, the real rule of thumb I'd suggest you use is if you lose one bird, don't panic. If you start to lose multiple birds, that's when you need to get some help from your local Department of Agriculture. All right, Abby dog, come with me. It's time for your favorite game, Spread the Straw. Now, the rules of this game are quite simple. I will cut loose this bale of straw and Abby's going to spread it and potentially build an Abby nest. All right, step aside, chickens. This is Abby's job. I know, Abby. You're not great at a lot of farm chores, but this is one that you're outstanding at. Abby dog, it looks like you've done an incomplete job here. Back to work, come on. I think she's distracted by the people who walked by the farm earlier. She's very much in guard dog duty, so I'm not gonna fight that. Plus, the chickens will also do a pretty darn good job of spreading out things as well, so I'll let them do their thing. Rise and grind, weirdos, come on out. Yeah, they don't like it when it snows. All right, now it is time to get the water pumping for the cattle. I'm also gonna have to feed the cattle hay today. Good morning, boys. I'll take care of you after I do the cow chores, okay? They always get kind of annoyed when I do the cattle chores first. Oh no. It does not look like my water is running this morning. Oh no, I was worried about this. I think it froze overnight. If I don't make sure that every last drop of water is out of this hose before nighttime, or even during the daytime when it's really cold, it runs the risk of freezing. And I don't know what happened, but somehow something got clogged here. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to thaw it out. So far this winter, I feel like this is averaging about once a month, and it really sucks, and it is the worst part of farming, or at least farming here during this time of year. I'll probably have to get up on that ladder and start thawing. It usually seems to freeze like right up there in that spot. Let's start listening to see where the water's running. I hate this so much. All right, and we got water running through here. So that means, yeah, I was right. My problem is up there. Seems like the water's getting up to there. So I think the problem is actually up over here. Oh no, oh no. Oh shoot. Well, it looks like I just ruptured the line. I'm gonna go shut that water off right now. There was so much pressure from the water and the ice, and it seems like it was right up at that spot. As soon as it released up and the plastic was a little bit too soft for me heating it, it ruptured and exploded. That's how we got the mess that we got. And so now I think my best bet is to actually cut this and try to replace it. And like I can basically create a connection right up there. But this is not what I wanted to be doing this morning at all. I feel like before I try to replace that pipe connection, I should just chill out and watch some goats eat for a minute, because this is much more soothing and it lowers your stress level versus dealing with water lines, which particularly for up here in the dead of winter is not a soothing activity whatsoever. There we go, that's one. If my goal is to prevent future freezings, I gotta make sure it isn't too curvy and it needs to be straight. That's why it's usually really good to do polypipe work in the summer, because the heat and the sunshine will soften it up and it makes it much more pliable and easy to work with. Right now with the temperatures in the teens, it's, I don't know, it's like trying to bend metal. It's really hard. Maybe not that hard, but you guys get my point.
By the way, I just noticed this while editing this video. What the heck is Abby dog doing right here? She's the weirdest sleeping dog I have ever seen.
Now, some of you guys watching this might be wondering why I actually didn't just make like a little patch and I replaced the entire line. And the answer is I'm pretty sure that a lot of this tube is frozen, and so it was gonna be really hard to try to replace it. Let's see if we can cut it and see what's going on. Yeah, look. That thing is frozen solid. But despite the fact that this line is frozen solid, I do think I'm gonna leave it out here. We are not gonna have temperatures up over like 25 degrees Fahrenheit for I think like another week or two, but probably the first good warm day of the year, I'll flush this out and then I'll just keep it in place and I'll use it as like a backup line in case I ever have a problem like this again. Which, if I really wanted to talk to you guys about the lessons learned from some of these things, I think for next year, if I don't put an even better watering system in, I'll probably end up running 2 of these lines. One is like a regular use, one is like a safety backup type of use. Now let's try to get the water flowing. Good morning, girls. I know I'm a little tardy on water this morning, and yeah, I figured you'd drink all your water overnight. All right, now this is the real moment of truth. Let's see if we can get our water going. Sounds like it's going through there. Now I have to make the long walk from the hydrant to the cattle. And honestly, the anticipation is killing me. Like, I really hope it's working. I'm listening to hear if it's working. Can't tell if it's working yet, but we will only know in just a moment or two. Oh, why is it not working? I think that means that this hose somewhere somehow is a little bit frozen. I'm gonna have to find the freeze here too. So I'm pretty sure this actually might be my problem. So I think, because it looks like this seal on the hose here is broken, that's actually why the water didn't have the right suction and it didn't like drain with gravity yesterday. And that's probably why the whole hose line froze and kept a whole bunch of water trapped in here. Now I just took this apart and looked at it and it looks like the seal in here is cracked. I'm just gonna let it run and leak water this morning, but I'm either gonna have to repair it or replace it in the next 24 hours or so. Now I know it only looks like a trickle so far, but if I give that a few minutes, it will completely defrost itself and I'll have plenty of water flowing to the ladies. You know, one of the things about farm life is you never quite know the curveball that you're gonna get that morning, but you also really don't have the option of whether or not you're gonna deal with it most of the time. And you know, lately I have been seeing this one meme going around all the time about like, you know, farmers don't get to take a day off when it's cold. Like, I don't even want to try to paraphrase it, but I'll show you on the screen here. And I got to admit, I'm not exactly a fan of these types of meme posts. So like, no shade to anybody who's like reposted this one, but I feel like a big part of what you sign up for when you raise animals and when you have a farm is the fact that, yeah, you have to do these things. And yes, it is true. You don't get days off and you don't have snow days and you got to solve the problems that you've got to solve regardless of the situation you're in. It doesn't make much sense to me to whine about it on the internet and post memes like that. But of course, here I am, a guy who's probably made an entire, I don't know, 15, 20-minute video all about the problems I'm facing this morning. And so here I am whining about it and posting on social media. And I guess if I was gonna whine about one other thing, I will say that even though I would love to go inside and have a cup of coffee by the hot fireplace, I gotta go feed these ladies hay because they're hungry and they want their food. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope you have a great day.